because strategy can be systemized. Strategy can be actioned. Strategy can be actioned by someone that's not you. Ooh, and in today's session, I'm going to give you not 10 ways, not 21 ways, but as many ways as I possibly can in 60 minutes to give you some ideas that you can start putting into place to make this scale happen for you.
This is the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast for entrepreneurs and business owners looking for cool online tools, apps and strategies to make business easy online. My name is Nick Cree and I'm your host. Each episode features a guest expert demystifying the online universe, sharing inspirational ideas and providing tested real-world strategies to help you get the most of what's available online to grow your business today. Don't be a slave to your business, get your business working for you. Subscribe now and get some great content and ideas for you and your business today. All right, well, that brings me to tonight, our topic tonight. And our guest speaker, of course, which is Sarah Cordiner. So Sarah and I have known each other for quite a while, mostly online. And we just discovered today that we're living in the same part of the world. So Sarah is, I did find out some interesting facts about Sarah as well too. So I'll bring those up. So if you grab your pens, open your minds. You are about to be inspired by someone who doesn't just think outside the box, she redefines what the box actually is. So our guest speaker today is a powerhouse of entrepreneurship or edgepreneurship, and she's a qualified education specialist, course creation expert, and she's the woman behind thousands of successful online programs across 168 countries. I think there's only 168 countries in the world, so she covers the entire globe. She really does have a massive community as well, so do go and check her out. A couple of fun facts here that I found out about her. She started her first education business at 19 years old and with only $18 to her name, which is proof that you don't need a fancy bank account to make a big impact, and she's certainly done that. And the other one too is that she once delivered a keynote when she was 8 months pregnant, and she was standing in heels. Anyone that sort of is used to wearing or not used to wearing heels, I don't know what that's like at all. Actually, I lie. I do. I have occasionally worn heels, but we won't go there. But she was pregnant in heels, and she managed to outpace the clicker, her slides, and the audience questions. And she was able to wow the audience and she didn't give birth at that time as well too. So she is a powerhouse, she is a superwoman, and she is the owner and the CEO of Techmatic, which Harry's have mentioned before, which is an automation platform, which is pretty awesome. She is an author of multiple books as well, and she's here tonight to talk to us about some of the strategies that you can use to scale up your business in 2025. So let's put your hands together. Welcome to the stage, Sarah Cordiner.
Woo, 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 woo. Thank you, Nick. Well, I don't know how many of you have had a very long day today. How many of you have done a whole day's work already? And here we are in the evening. Now, I promise you, you're not going to fall asleep in this one. Anyone who's seen me present before, you know that you are about to basically snort a line of cocaine in educational form. I have no idea what that feels like, by the way, but you will in a minute. So I just want to reiterate to you guys, that education company that I started at 19 years old is the very same education company that is currently still running. It now has taught over 281,000 students, and I have also gone on to take that $18 to very recently a $15 million valuation of my company, and I do it all in bare feet. from the spare room in my house, and until very recently, that was in one of the most remote towns in the whole of Australia, up in Broome, Western Australia, whilst I have kids running around under my desk. So I want to share with you today the things that I'm going to be teaching you in this session are some of the actual strategies that I use to take my teeny tiny idea at the very, very naive age of 19 all the way through to what is now a business that has students and clients all over the world operating 24 hours a day, a very large team behind that, and that you can still do that with very little to no marketing budget, with a lean team, and also still have time for fun and balance. Some of you may have seen at the beginning of the session, I had a little tiny human being walking around me. This is one of my amazing assistants and the future heir of the Sarah Cordiner Castle. She's going to be running around doing some B-roll of me behind the scenes too. So you will see beautiful tiny faces. Now, I did have a little bit of a chuckle when I was reading yesterday's announcement for today's session, because I thought, oh, I wonder what I'm teaching at this workshop tomorrow as a professional speaker. Sometimes when they've been booked months and months and months in advance, you kind of forgot what you said you were going to teach. So this email popped up from Nick. Thank you, Nick. In fact, it was your amazing team that sent it out there. And I had a laugh because the title of the presentation said, 10 ways to scale your business. And I scrolled down and went, cool, I've got a presentation on that. And then it said 21 ways to scale your business. So when I was putting the slides together today, I thought, well, I would call it, are you ready for this? It's not going to be 10 ways to scale your business or 21 ways to scale your business. Basically, we're going with as many ways as we can fit into 1 hour to scale your business. All right, so let's get cracking. What we're going to do today is I'm going to basically take you through a whole bunch of completely different tips and strategies that you can use to scale the business that you are currently running. Whether you are a brand new startup, you have no followers, you haven't quite put your packages and products put together yet, or whether you are in the 7-figure plus scale range, every single one of these can be implemented with very little or no budget. And I'm going to go through them super duper fast. Now, if you do want to ask me any questions, please do feel free to turn your microphone on and interrupt in the moment. I am totally okay with that. I am a steam train, so unless you put your big girl pants on and say, Sarah, I have a question, I won't know. We will have some time for questions at the end. So just to reassure you guys, I am actually a qualified educator, teacher, trainer. I teach people how to commercialize their knowledge and expertise. So whatever skills, whatever experiences you have, there is a way for you to commercialize that. It's a way for you to sell it packaged up as courses, coaching programs, memberships, services, and a whole bunch of other ways that you can actually use your expertise as a way to either bring leads into the main operation of your business or to create other income streams in your business. So I've been doing this for a very long time. That was 19 years old when I started. I'm 40 now, so I have literally dedicated my entire career to helping people with the commercialization of their assets and with the tech and marketing that goes alongside that. Because no matter how smart you are, no matter how good your products are, no matter how good your services are, you cannot scale those if you don't have systems, strategies, and today, tech and automation in place. And in fact, today, with tech and automation, with using all of the free softwares and resources, and of course, the paid ones that are out there, you absolutely can. It is completely possible to scale to a 7-figure business and beyond with one or maybe even no staff whatsoever. And I want to give you a tiny little taste of what some of those things are today, as well as you'll be surprised to see in today's session, some kind of old school methods that are so old school, they're cool school again, and how some of the things that people are kind of forgetting the importance of are still to this day some of the biggest lead generation tools and scale strategies that you could possibly have in place in your business. And you'll be pleased to know that those ones are free. Are you ready? Who's ready to go? Let's go. Okay, so inside our session today, we are talking about scaling. And what this means is not making your business bigger. Scale does not mean more staff, more overheads, yes, more revenue, but it actually means Doing more, getting more results, getting more profit, impacting more people without necessarily doing more work. True scale and a business that has a high valuation or a high valuation multiplier, because guess what, guys? Some of you should be thinking today about building your business to sell it one day. So this is super important. You could have a $10 million a year revenue, but that business's valuation is going to be absolutely pants if there's no profit, if there's no recurring revenue, if the business money, that $10 million that is coming in, is only coming from 1 or 2 clients, is only coming from 1 or 2 geographical locations. If you want a business that is high value, that is high profit, and that is going to earn you the highest amount of income if you were to sell it one day, you need to be thinking scalability. Doing more, getting more results with less input. And that, my friends, is where the real sweet spot of business happens. This is when you know that you've made it. So let's talk about how do we kind of get there in the first place. One thing I want to talk to you all about is seeing your business as a system. Succeeding in any business, in any industry, is all about understanding that it's all just one big, simple math formula. The math formula basically goes, and I know you can't see my screen very well, but at the very, very top of our business, we have marketing. This is all the things that gets people's attention, gets them to notice us, whether it's us putting it directly in front of their faces via direct marketing or paid advertising, whether it's doing activities like content marketing, speaking on stages, speaking on podcasts, coming and presenting on other people's summits and communities, whether it is doing PR, whether it's creating affiliate and partnership programs, whatever it might be. At the very top of our business is all of the ways that people discover us and can find us. This discoverability is critical. And again, it has a simple math formula based on, if I want to make X number of dollars per year, how many people do I need to get in front of? There's a ChatGPT prompt for you, my friends. Here, in fact, I'm going to say it to you right now. I want you all to put into your ChatGPT at some point, not necessarily right now. If I want to make, let's say, $1 million in the next 12 months, and my conversion rate is 1%, how many customers do I need to get in front of per month to hit my revenue goal? I bet none of you know that. And this is why most businesses are not hitting their revenue goal. They think that if I just put a couple of Facebook posts up, if I send out the odd email when I remember to do it, maybe I'll chuck $20 on some Facebook ads 1 month and see what happens. Maybe I'll hit my revenue goal. And then a year goes by and they haven't, and they wonder why. And they come to consultants like me and say, my business is making no money. I've got really good stuff, but I'm still where I was last year. And I say, well, how many people did you get in front of this month? And they go, oh, no, I put a Facebook post up, got 200 views. You need to know, if you want to make $1 million and your conversion rate is 1%, how many people does that mean you need to actually be in front of in order to have a chance at hitting your revenue goal? ChatGPT can give you that answer. So what do we mean by conversion rate? For those of you that don't know, hands up if you do know your conversion rate. A couple of you do? Awesome. This is one of the most important numbers you need to start getting to know. And if you are using a proper CRM, your CRM will tell you what your conversion rate is. This means how many people buy your thing after looking at it or seeing it. I like to imagine this. Imagine if you're in a room full of 100 people and they're your perfect target clients. This is the important part. They must be your perfect target clients. If you delivered the most amazing presentation in the world, how many people would be likely to buy? If one of them are likely to buy and you're quite confident you could get one of them to buy from you, then you've got a conversion rate of 1%. So it's really simple maths there. If you can get half of the room, 50 people to buy, you've got a conversion rate of 50%. Now, let me give you a tiny bit of math here. In the online space today, the average digital product or service has a conversion rate of between 1% and 3%. Back in the olden internet days, it was around 80%. About 5 years ago, it was about 30%. About a year, 2 years ago, it was around 9%. Today, the average conversion rate when you're putting something up for sale online is between 1% and 3%. Now get this, it gets worse. I know I'm starting with doom and gloom. It gets worse. Because already, does that mean for every 100 people who see your promotional post and your amazing video you've made, or that brilliant blog post you wrote, or turned up at your presentation, right? Not only are only 1 to 3% of them likely to buy it, that 1 to 3% usually need to have seen you at least 22 times before they buy. Oh, shit. So now, right, I want you all to know, if you are not selling as much as you want to be selling, you're not shit, right? Your thing isn't rubbish. It's not doomed. Don't give up. You're simply not hitting enough numbers. You're not giving yourself enough chance to reach the volume of eyeballs you need to be meeting, and you're not hitting those eyeballs enough times. This means, quite simply, that you absolutely are in control of your marketing and you can hit that revenue goal. As soon as you know how many people do I need to get in front of to hit my revenue goal at a 1% conversion rate, you do that 22 times and you keep doing it over and over and over again. And if you are hitting those numbers, you cannot fail. It's simple math. Now, for some of you, you might be thinking, geez, Sarah, that's a lot. But actually, when you understand that simple fact of life, now all of a sudden, it's not about a hope and a dream anymore. It's about simple strategy. And I want you to see comfort in that simple strategy, because strategy can be systemized. Strategy can be actioned. Strategy can be actioned by someone that's not you. Ooh, and in today's session, I'm going to give you not 10 ways, not 21 ways, but as many ways as I possibly can in 60 minutes to give you some ideas that you can start putting into place to make this scale happen for you. How are we going so far? Nice. Azim's like, I want 31 ways. You never know. I speak fast enough. Let's give it a shot. So inside this system, I know you can't see this clearly. This is a document that is reserved for my paying students, but I want to share with you what's on it. At the top, you're thinking all of the marketing you can possibly do. The more marketing you do on the more platforms that you do, in the more mediums that you do it, the more chance of you hitting the number of people you need to get in front of to hit your conversion rate, to make the revenue that you want to make. So that's what all this top bit is about. Our green section is content marketing. I'm going to be talking to you about that today. And our pink bit is general marketing, all of the other ways that we can get in front of people. Then in the middle, we have the point at which we convert these eyeballs from just seeing us, seeing our pretty little faces out there, into actually becoming part of our ecosystem. What does that mean? It means getting their email address. So this is the conversion point. This is the point we turn marketing into acquisition. This is the point at which when somebody gives us their contact details, now we've acquired a lead. Now we're talking business. Now we have the opportunity to sell. And by the way, now we're increasing the value of our business because email addresses are assets, my friend. Yes, they are. So it's very important that we learn that every piece of marketing we're doing has a call to action on it that collects an email address or incites them to reach out and start communication with us. Yeah. So that bit in the middle is about having lead magnets, having forms that people can fill in, having free stuff that we give away in exchange for an email address, booking a free call with me so we get their email address. You get the point. Anything that's going to get the email address in the middle. Then as we move down the system here, and I'm going to make this a bit bigger for you to just have a sneaky little peek. Sneaky, you're not supposed to see this one. It's my secret sources, all right? As we go down below our lead magnet thing, which is the acquisition stage, now what we're going to have is a system in place that's going to take that email address and actually start doing something with it. Because an email address that sits in a dusty old database collecting moths, like the recipe books on the top of your microwave. I know it, I know. I'm afraid isn't going to do anything. You've done all this work to get an email address. And then do you know what people do? They go, I'm not going to email my list in case they unsubscribe. You've just done all that work to get it. So what we're doing in our special success system, Sarah's visibility blueprint, is we're going to use automation, systems, software to now do the lead nurturing for us. And this sounds really techy, but all this means is communicating with them, sending them emails regularly, sharing our helpful advice and tips and our passion, all the years of things and knowledge that we've collected to show that we are super helpful and we're totally the guy or girl to help them. That's all we're going to do. We're going to automate that process of communicating and being helpful and selling. Yay. And at the very, very bottom, you've got all of the different things that you might sell. And we're not going to be covering that today because today's not a content or product strategy session. But what you want to be thinking about is what are all of the different things that you could sell to people so that you are making as much money as possible, which segues me perfectly into my next slide, as if I wrote these myself, which is all about part 2, step 2, tip 2 of scaling your business. If you want to make more money, make it easier for everyone to buy from you. What do we mean by this? So in Sarah's world, the world is not a circle, the world is a triangle. And for all business owners and entrepreneurs, you need to see the world in the same way too. This is a Pareto's principle picture of basically how wealth is distributed on planet Earth. All right, so this isn't me being stereotypical or judgmental. This is literally how the wealth in the world is split. We have the majority of planet Earth at the majority end, the bottom end of our triangle, the biggest end of our triangle. The majority of planet Earth, around 80%, live day to day on a low disposable income. They're living paycheck to paycheck. They don't have much money spare. This is just a fact of the world's wealth nature. So we need to think about, if I want to serve the largest portion of planet Earth, we're talking like, 6 billion people, then we really need to have some kind of version of our offers, our products, our services that these majority of people on planet Earth can actually afford. So what we're talking about down here is, do you have a low ticket, a low priced version of something that you sell? Could this be, for instance, best versions of these are completely self-serving digital products? You're talking a webinar recording. Maybe it's an e-guide or a book or a download, some kind of mini course that you've recorded once and you can now give away for a very, very low price or even for free. This down here is where you are helping the masses. Yes, it's a low price, but you have much higher volume because the most people are down here. FYI, my 7-figure business makes most of its money from low ticket products. My millions come from products that are mostly under $100. So everyone goes, oh, low ticket means less money. No, it doesn't. Low price means high volume. And because it's more accessible for more people to purchase, it's easier to sell when it's lower ticket because people don't have to think as hard, which means it's an easier marketing and sales process. Then you, my friends, are massively increasing your income opportunities and the amount of people you can help and impact. So what can you give away, or preferably, what can you create that you can sell for under $100, under $50, under $20? I heard today that some of you are writing books. Obviously, books and e-guides are certainly going to fit very nicely into that section. Now, at the very top and tippy-toppy top of our triangle, we have the other end of the wealth distribution system. And that is that around 20% of the planet own actually 80% of the world's wealth. So you've got people up here who do have high disposable incomes, who only want the Gucci handbag, who only want the VIP luxury experience. These are the kind of people who seek out the high ticket, the absolutely treat me special kind of thing or version of the thing that you sell. So what would be the do it with them service? Whatever you do, whatever your business is, can you come and help me get something done? I have, for instance, get it done days where people come and quite literally fly to the Gold Coast, sit at my desk, and I do their tech for them. I create their courses, their memberships, and do all of their tech, and they literally walk out of the door with it done. They're not allowed to escape without it. Lock them in, literally lock them in. And I am nice enough to give them a glass of champagne in my hot tub before they leave. But it's a way to give them an experience and a guaranteed outcome. If I was to come and sit at your desk with you, what could you do with me? If you're a nutritionist, is it a personalized food plan? Will you actually come shopping with me? Can you come to my house and empty my cupboards and go, did you know there's 14 grams of sugar in this? That's going in the bin, right? What can you do that creates a done for you experience that you're charging significantly for? And when I say significantly, I do not mean ripping people off. I mean charging for the value of your years and years worth of expertise, charging for the value of fast tracking my result. That's what we're talking about here. What is your Prada handbag version of your thing? And of course, then in the middle, you get the point. The price point's in the middle. So if you can take whatever you do, and that will allow you to answer the question of, hey, can I pick your brain over a coffee? Or, hey, I'd love to get your help in something. And your answer should always be, of course. I've got 4 ways that I can help you do that, as an example. Option number 1, I've got loads of free stuff over here. Option number 2, I've got my mini workshop over here that's only $29. Option number 3, I've got a coaching program over here that's somewhere in the middle. Over here, I've got my membership program, which is this price. And over here, I can completely do everything for you for this price. Now, I'm not saying you have to have all of those options. What I'm saying here is to create a scalable business. If you have an option that in some way serves each parts of those markets, you have dramatically scaled your business by opening up the accessibility to everyone in the world at every level of economic stage that they sit at. Big one, massively makes a difference to businesses. Next, how about to scale your business, you clone yourself? Now, this is huge. I don't remember if any of you ever said that, I just wish I could clone myself. I used to say this all the time. Well, now you can. How mad is that? Who has created what's called a custom GPT in ChatGPT? 1 of you, 2 of you? Right. Get ready, my friends. Get ready for this one. I mean, seriously, this has been life-changing for me. Did you know you can create your own little custom GPT bots? And I'm going to show you in a second in ChatGPT and train it with everything you know. And it can then speak like you, think like you, write like you, act like you, literally act as the whole entire vault of your lifetime's worth of knowledge and expertise, so that you can hire a virtual assistant who can then answer every single email as you, because the bot does it for them, who can write blog posts as you, who can write social media content as you, who can literally deal with every single problem as if it was you. How would Sarah deal with this? I mean, seriously, it's true. Let me show you. So this is called a, can you tell I get a bit excited about this? It's called a custom GPT. And not only can you use this to clone yourself, you can use this for all kinds of other things. I'm just going to blow your brains out in just a second here. But what you do to make these is you log into your normal ChatGPT account, and up on the top right-hand corner, you press your little picture of you button and you press My GPTs. And you will probably have nothing here, but you can press Create a GPT, give it a name. Ooh, me, myself, and I. Me, myself. Ooh, what am I doing here? I have no idea what I'm doing. Me, myself, and I. Okay, you're going to give it a description. You are my brain. And clone. Da-da-da-da. Instructions. Now in here, you're literally going to tell it everything about you. You are a clone of Sarah Cordiner. I'll show you mine in just a second. Here's what she does. Here's what she's an expert in. Here's the link to her website. Here's all of her blog posts, blah, 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 blah. Then here inside the upload files section, this is where you can go and get the transcripts of every video you've ever made and upload them all. Go and get the blog posts that you've written ever and upload them all. Go and get the books that you've written, upload them all. Go into your sent items in your emails and copy and paste in the way that you reply to everything. This will learn everything about you in seconds. Then, once you've done that and you press save, you now have a bot that knows everything about you. And every single time you do anything ever again, write a social media post, write a blog post, write an email, do a webinar, do any kind of on-stage thing, and you've saved the recording and got the transcript, you're going to come back into here, you're going to upload it, say, please remember this for the future, save, update, and it will go, okay, and now it remembers that too. What you will have is a bot that then literally knows you inside out. I will just show you very quickly on mine here. It just says you're a replica of Sarah Cordiner. Here's a bunch of stuff about me. Here's a bunch of stuff about my training programs that I run. And basically it then just speaks and acts like me all the time. And it's being loaded with all of my books, my workshops, my blog posts, everything in here. And every time I run a workshop, my amazing assistant goes in to this bit and just says, please remember this as well. So now I've got this GPT of myself. I can now go into here and say, write a blog post in my words as me about scaling your business. Boink. And it's now going to scrape all of my content, all of my websites, all of its knowledge base, and it's going to write exactly like me. And get this, it will learn every product you sell, every link to every product that you have, and it will even recommend and hyperlink in your products and services where it's appropriate as well. What on earth? It even structures the sentences in the way that I write as well. So from this point on, yes, someone else can manage your inbox. Absolutely. Now, if you think that's crazy, I've made a sales page creator bot. I've made my own business growth strategist that knows all of my tasks and to-do lists and help me reorganize what I'm doing. I've created a course creation bot. I've even created my own flipping astrology bot that's literally trained in my own astrological natal chart. So I can come in here every day and go, tell me about the planet positions and how they're going to impact me today personally. And it even gives me a meditation. What? I mean, this just gets ridiculous, doesn't it? There we go. There's me. There's all about, I mean, this is just next level. Talk about scaling your business. You now have a clone of yourself that can work 24 hours a day. Who's excited about that? Now, I do have a whole free workshop on how to do that. And at the end of this session, we've got a link for you guys, which will take you to that training. It's called AI Yourself and Build a Bot. And it's completely free of charge. It's your gift for turning up today. All right. So now let's, while we're talking about AI, take you to the next tip. If you can now AI yourself, how about now getting AI to help you grow your business? What? Did you know that now, today, more people are using AI models such as ChatGPT and Claude to do their searching as a search engine instead of going to Google? How many of you guys are using like your AIs instead of Google these days? A lot of you. All right, this is the thing. Now get this. Where do these AI language models get their data from? From the internet. So now today, when you go to ChatGPT and you type in a question, ChatGPT can now grab links, reference the links, there's my assistant in the background there, and literally refer people to your website. Complete strangers who are asking questions in ChatGPT. ChatGPT is now sending people straight to your website in the results. Meaning that if you are creating content, blogs, you're going to hear in a minute, blogs particularly, you are now enabling AI to search for you and refer customers to you. This is a free lead generation machine on fire, and anyone who's not actively making blogging and content creation SEO discoverable content, their number one strategy for 2025 is going to be absolutely pooed down the toilet by their competition who are. Because AI is going to be where people search for everything in the future. Most people it already is. And if they're referring your competitor instead of you, because your competitor started creating search engine optimized content and you haven't, they're going to get all the leads. Wow. Isn't this insane what is happening? Chloe, everyone says that you're a cute assistant. She's pretty amazing. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit then. As you can see, I actually put in a test one here. I went to ChatGPT and I said, list the top course creation experts and coaches in the world. Can I just take a little moment to say that ChatGPT recommended me as number one? Thank you, thank you, thank you. The crowd goes wild. Now, is this true? Is it true that I'm the best course creation expert in the world? Yes. As much as my ego would like to think so, the AI models and Google are determining that based on who has the most content on that topic indexed in the search engines, indexed on the internet. It is quite simply volume of content in that topic that these AI models and Google search engines and AI search engines are using to answer these questions. Who has the most results coming up in relation to that topic or that search query that's been entered? That's the person we're going to recommend. And by the way, at the footer of this result, they have put the hyperlinks to our websites. This is what ChatGPT is doing already. Can you see how Mark Zuckerberg, meanwhile, is charging us $8 a click today for Facebook ads? That's how ridiculous Facebook advertising has become. Where now, if we're writing blog posts, we can get AI to refer us unlimited leads for free 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, unlimited, for free. I mean, someone hold my beer. Why wouldn't we do that? So this is huge. And this is the bit where I was saying to you, blogging is so old school that it's cool again. And this is where so many people, you will see, if you haven't seen them already, so many of these goo-poos out there are going, blogging is so dead. Blogging is dead. I'm like, keep thinking that, sweetheart, because while you're thinking that, I've got ChatGPT literally sending me so many people that I'm having to shoo them out the door, right? It's so exciting. Now, let's go in and have a look at how this kind of starts following on to what we do next. As we go forward with this understanding that AI is here and it is massively a scale and marketing opportunity, we now need to realize we have to get serious about content marketing. We absolutely must realize that every single piece of content that we're putting out to the world is a thing that the internet, that the bots can search for and then spit back out to someone on the search engine saying, how do I get? How do I be? How do I have? How do I do? How do I achieve? Why does? People are asking those questions in these models and in ChatGPT on your topic by the billions every single day, and millions every day. So if you don't have content for the search engines and the bots to scrape for, you're not going to be part of the search results. But you are, because you've been on this workshop today with Sarah Cordiner, you clever thing. So what you're going to do is you're going to plan out your next 12 months. I want you to think about, in the next 12 months from today, from whenever you're watching this, hi everyone watching the recording later, whatever day it is today, I want you to think, what are the next 12 months? And what do I want to produce, publish, put out there to the world so that I can plan my marketing content around that and my social media content around that and my blog content around that. If you, for instance, deliver webinars and workshops, fantastic way for you to be seen as an expert in your thing. Even if your business isn't education, right? Even if you sell lawnmowers, you could be doing educational videos and workshops every day on how to create a perennial garden. Right? Because when you're doing those training videos on exactly what plants to plant and what time of the year so that you have amazing seasonal plants growing, right? Here's the lawnmower I use. Here are the snippers I use. You know, here are the special gloves I use. That if you're selling products, you should be doing webinars. If you're selling insurance, right, you should be doing webinars. Here are 3 things to do to make sure that your family aren't stuffed if you die. Webinar, P.S., we're an insurance broker, come and use us. I don't care what you do, what your topic is, what you sell. Running free training is the most incredible, highest converting way for you to establish yourself as an expert in that field, to position yourself as the most helpful person in the room in that topic, and to then generate content that can be used by AI and search engine bots to position you as the search result when your customers are looking for your thing. Absolutely massive one. So which kind of webinar are you going to run next month and the month after that and the month after that? Brilliant. Make a content plan around the webinars that you're running. You're going to record every single one of them and have all of them running as in lead generators. Remember the top of our system where we've got marketing? You can be running all of those as lead generators all year round, constantly bringing you in a massive stream of customers and leads into your business. So with that in mind, I want you to understand that when we're creating content that's going to get us found in the search engines, which by the way means it has really long lifespans, and is going to get found in the AI engines, which also means it has very long lifespans, what we are not worrying about is virality. We're not going to be creating content here that's necessarily going to go viral, and nor should that be your goal if you want the biggest prize of all, free traffic from AI. So what you're going to be creating when you're creating content is what's called how-to content, tip content, educational content. All of your blog posts, videos you put on social media, text posts that you put up on social media should all be titled with the question that your audience are most likely to type into a search engine or into AI or voice type into either of those platforms. Because all bots and search engine algorithms do is match the query to the result. If the question that's been typed in matches the piece of content that's been published, guess what? Oh, that's all they're doing. So the most highest converting content that is going to bring you leads forever, by the way, I still get thousands of leads a month today from blog posts I wrote 8 years ago. Some of my highest traffic blog posts are 8 years old. They took me 30 minutes to write. Am I glad I wrote that blog post? You betcha. So this is what I mean when I say they have long lifespans. Blog posts actually become more vintage over time, like me, because they collect more views, they collect more data about who's reading that post. It gives Google and now the AI bots more information about who to serve that content to. So they just keep getting better and better and better. So with that, we are going to use something like, ChatGPT to find out what content to create. So let's just simply jump into ChatGPT, come out of my astrology bot over here, and say, list the top 50 most common questions about, and then your topic. Just pop your topic in. And it's going to tell you what your thing is. About, I don't know, spending your life wisely, not having regrets. Let's go with Harry's sort of topic here. Not having regrets, productivity, and making life meaningful. Whatever your topic is. Mine would be creating an online course. This is going to tell you exactly what to create content in. This would be the title of my video and my blog post. That would be the title of another video blog post. Guess what? These are also going to be the subject lines of my emails that go out as well. You cannot possibly get this wrong anymore. And guess what? How are you going to create the content? You're going to take question 1, it's going to keep going for a while, and say, please answer this for me as me. Because remember now, it now knows who you are because you've made yourself a clone. So it's even going to speak in your language and your terms. Ta-da! Here's the answer to my question. I'm going to summarize that up in a short video. I'm going to summarize that up in a blog post. I might even run next month's webinar about it. Might even make a little tutorial. That's cute, isn't it? I love it. So what you're thinking about here is remembering that every time you create a piece of content, think of it like a spider's web. Who cares if it only gets 200 views? Who cares if it only gets 3 love hearts? Who cares about whether or not it goes viral? I'm telling you now, as a very successful business owner who creates content for a living, I don't care how many views my things get. Of course, it would be fun for some stuff to go viral. In fact, actually, I'm telling you, it's absolutely terrifying when stuff goes viral. However, what I'm thinking about when I'm creating content is I'm basically adding an invisible ring to this giant silent spider's web behind the scenes, the interweb. Every time you publish a blog post, it's another ring on the spider's web. Every time you publish a video on YouTube, it's another ring on the web. Every time you publish another piece of content, it's another ring on the web. And that ring silently gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger over time, so that eventually your searchers, your Googlers, and now your AI botters quite simply cannot help but trip over that web and fall in it. This is how it works. So please don't think, oh, I only got no views on that, so this is pointless and futile. No, my dear friends, I want you to sit there going, I know that future me is going to thank me when, in 5 years' time, I've got thousands of blog posts and now ChatGPT just sends me business while I sit here drinking pina colada. Amazing. Isn't it good? Is this fun or is this fun? Is this like, how simple is this? It's so simple, and people are just really underestimating this. They're underestimating the power of simplicity. Does this apply to Facebook posts? Yes, it does. Because now, if you change a post to public, it now is indexed by Google. A couple of years ago, TikTok also went into an agreement with Google. So now TikTok videos come up in Google search results. YouTube videos come up in Google search results. So absolutely, LinkedIn posts come up on Google search results. Pretty much every single platform out there today now has an agreement with Google. That means that any publicly published content is indexed. This is next level. I mean, people think that they need money for business to work. I want you guys to think about the slow, long-term game, because that is where the real winners survive. We're talking about long-term sustainable business here. I know that 10 years future me, 10 years me now is already pleased that me 10 years ago started blogging, because it's already serving me today. When everyone else was going, blogging's so rubbish, we want to do viral dancing videos, which are always fun. But viral dancing videos are not going to be serving me customers in another 10 years' time. A very helpful blog post on my topic is going to be serving me customers in 10 years' time. How do I know? Because it's already happening. Very, very fun. Next, let's keep going. There's more. We haven't even got started yet. Right. So obviously, we want to be making sure that all this content we're creating, the videos, the blog posts, we are making sure that it's going out regularly and consistently. Algorithms on all these platforms natively are always going to favor promoting and exposing the content from people who are publishing regularly. So do make sure that you're using a scheduling tool. There's heaps of them out there. There's Hootsuite, there's Buffer. This particular one is Techmatics, also a social media scheduler. Basically, you can pre-batch write all of your content using your best friend ChatGPT, and then choose the date and time you want that to publish and on what platforms you want it to publish. Meaning that everyone's like, oh, you're like so on the ball. And you're like, no, I'm not. I'm drinking pina colada on the back deck with Sarah Cordiner. However, you've got your system doing all of your scheduling for you. Important thing. Remember our system strategy we had right at the very beginning, where we talked about marketing at the top. What happens in the middle? Anyone comment for me? We've got our exposure at the top. What happens next? Lead conversion. Call to action. Please make sure that every single post you put out there, whether it's blogs, whether it's videos, whether it's social media posts, has some kind of call to action. It is absolutely essential that you're either sending them to a free thing or outright selling a paid thing, or sending them to a booking calendar or asking them to email you, because you need that email address. The whole point of all of this is not just to be the most helpful person in the room and to hack the nuts out of AI and search engines, it's also to make them a customer. So don't forget your call to action, please. Very, very important. Now, next, we've talked obviously about content, so please make sure that you're blogging. You have preferably, you should be doing this from your own domain. So it doesn't matter what kind of website you're using, WordPress, Wix, Techmatics, all of these platforms connect your own domain to that blogging platform so that your blogs are going out as yourwebsite.com. Really important, because you want the traffic going to your own and going through your own domain. So yes, any of you thinking about Techmatics, that absolutely is doable and possible. And this is where you want to make sure that inside your blogs, you're also thinking about how can I keep getting AI and Google to refer more people to my site instead of my competitors' sites. And this means keeping people on your blog as long as possible. Ranking on Google is actually about how long people sit on your page for. So if you have embedded any of the video versions into that blog post, so they sit and watch the video there too. And here's my favorite hack. I always put the video on YouTube and then I embed the YouTube video in the blog post. Why? Because now not only is my blog and my website getting traffic and hits and they're sitting there for a long time, my YouTube's also getting views too. So I'm basically double whammying my ranking on both of those platforms. Hacking! Woohoo! Now, not only do you want to be getting content on your own blogs, you also want to be hacking other people's. How do you do that? Glad you asked. All you have to do is reach out to people who have audiences that you'd like to get in front of. How to scale your business? Hack someone who's already scaled theirs. Ethically, of course, my friends. So you can do this by literally writing blog posts or sharing the ones you've already written for yourself with other people. How do you find these? You're going to use this clever little hack. First of all, you're going to type in exactly who your target audience are. So for instance, I target entrepreneurs or business owners. So I'm going to type in the target audience and then in square brackets, write for us. So entrepreneur, square bracket, write for us. What this will find is every page on the internet that has anything to do with entrepreneurship that has a page called Write for Us. There you go. Write for Business Ignite, write for Empire Flippers, write for Build, write for, you get the point. These are people that are going to accept guest posts, and guess what? They all allow a link back to your site. The more links that go back to your site, they're called backlinks, the more trusted your website becomes as an authority in whatever your keywords are on your site. Meaning that Google and the AI bots are going to continue referring you even more business because now you're in multiple locations with multiple links going back to you. I told you it's just a game. It's just a system. It's just numbers. And when you realize that this is just a system, you can only win. I feel like I'm making entrepreneurship boring. All right, I'm just keeping an eye on time. We're going good. Another 10 minutes or so. Nick, are we good? Yeah, cool. Keep going. Now, I know that some of you would rather literally perform a lobotomy on yourself whilst having your leg chewed off by a raccoon than go on camera. However, I'm telling you now, in the age of AI, people are going to trust video way more than they're going to trust text. And as always, human-to-human communication is always going to be the most effective. So I do recommend that you get over yourself, you take a deep breath, and you remember that you've been speaking to human beings your whole entire life, that that barrel of a lens is not going to kill you. And turning your camera on and pressing record, you can use editors today that will make you look sexy, give you longer eyelashes, give you some more hair, whatever you feel like you gotta do, right? Just get it out there. Because every single video is another ring on the spider's web. It's another opportunity to connect with your audience. It's another opportunity to sell. And guess what? We as human beings are all scared of being on camera, getting criticized, getting someone troll us, right? But so is your competitor. So if you're doing it because you've been brave enough and they're not, guess who's going to win? Why? Because you did it scared anyway. Success is not about not being scared. Success is about doing it regardless of being scared. Ask anyone with any kind of success, not one of them will tell you, I don't have any fear. They're all going to tell you, I am absolutely shitting my pants every single day, and the more successful I get, the more I have to lose, the fucking more scarier it is. Okay, so please just be like, do you know what? It's just a camera. I'm not going to die. The sky's not going to fall on your head. All right, and if you've got to put it through CapCut and make your eyelashes look prettier, fine. Just get the video out there because it's not about you. It's about the people that you can help. It's about who's sitting there going, how do I get, how do I be, how do I have, how do I achieve, who can help me with this, who's the best person in Australia for that. Your video is going to bring them to you if you've been brave enough to publish it. People are after your knowledge and your advice, not how hot you look in a mankini. Although I would like to see a lot more people in mankinis because it would be a lot more fun. But anyway, let's go on to our next tip. If we go into creating videos, please roughly aim to keep them under 3 minutes so you capture everyone's attention the whole way through. And make sure that in those videos, again, you're using the same rule of answering questions. Again, because we're not worrying about going viral, we're worrying about getting picked up by search engines. So I recommend that the way you start and end your video is the question. So for instance, I would do this. How do you create an online course? Well, hi, I'm Sarah. I've been helping people create courses for well over 20 years, and I'm a qualified curriculum developer. And I've learned that there are basically 10 steps for doing that. Step 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. And that is how you create an online course. Bam. You start it with the question, you end it with the question. Why? Because Google, because the AIs transcribe all of them, and in the background of these videos, of this content, it can read the content. So it helps AI and SEO actually know what your video is about. I know Big Brother's out there, but when you understand it, you can see how Big Brother's actually your friend, not your enemy. Very cool. Make sure you add captions. Did you know that 80% of people watch videos with the sound off? So if you don't have captions on all your videos, you're actually losing 80% of your audience. And remember that only 1 to 3% of them convert. We need that 80%. So please add captions. I have loads of training on how to do that inside my Legends Lab, but you can use CapCut, you can use the actual apps like TikTok and Instagram themselves. They actually all have caption adding features inside them. There's also tools like Descript, another one that I absolutely love, but please just make sure that you do that and that they're well lit and that the sound doesn't sound like you're speaking from the bottom of a tin of baked beans. Now, FYI with phone videos today, the more natural and real they are, the more they actually get seen and looked at. I know I used to spend a lot of time putting on the suit, looking all profesh, and actually they flop compared to the ones where I've got my hair in a mum bun, the kids are running around, and I'm just walking around the kitchen with the phone, just going, I've had a question come in from David today, and he's asked, what tools do I use to film my course? Blah, 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 while I'm making a coffee. And then I just upload it, literally like that, without fussing around with it at all. Those videos get more views and attention and shares than the ones that I lovingly worked hard over and even brushed my hair for. Ugh, it's typical, isn't it? So next tip for scaling your business is build an email list. We've talked about that at the beginning of this session. Did you know that when you sell a business, your email list is actually calculated as part of the valuation? If you have an email list, you have power. I barely run ads. In all of my years of running my courses, my training and everything else, the 281,000 students that have gone through my courses, only 11,000 of them came from ads. The rest came from building an email list, from organic content, blogs, videos, content on social media, speaking on stages, guest blogging, speaking on people's podcasts, coming on other people's events, giving them some kind of free thing that I'm going to be giving to you. Watch what we do here, right? Gets you on my email list. I now have an asset of my own. I can now nurture you and sell to you behind the scenes, and watch how I do it, by the way, when you join my email list, because what I do works. It's been doing it that way for years. So make sure you're giving away free things, and everything you put out there is always a call to action so that you get that email list. Then once you've got that email list, as I showed you at the beginning, kind of the big picture here, now you can use technology to create automated nurturing and selling. Here's a little video of what that looks like. This is where someone joins your email list, and then you send them an email, a helpful tip. You wait for a few days, you send them another email with a helpful tip. You wait for a few days, you send them another email with a helpful tip. You get the point. That should go on and on and on and on for eternity. Every time you create a new blog post or a new video, you're going to make a new email about it, and you're going to add it to the bottom of the sequence, and the sequence just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Remember I said to you at the beginning, how many touch points does it take for someone to buy from you today? 22 touch points. So you're going to need to have a long email list here. Let me make this number even more painful for you, because it's important that you understand that this needs to be done consistently. The average person today not only takes 22 touch points, they take an average of 18 months to make a purchase. We are not having less people buying. There are not less people spending money. The same amount of money is circulating planet Earth right now as it always has. In fact, there's more money circulating planet Earth than there ever has been. People are not spending less. They're simply taking longer to make the buying decision. And most business owners give up before they've done enough touch points for a long enough amount of time. If you want to make sales, you absolutely can. Please do not think no one's spending any money. The second you start thinking like that, your inner critic has won. People are spending money. They're just taking longer to make the buying decision. So if you have that email nurture sequence going on and it's got at least 18 months worth of emails in there, FYI, mine's got about 6 years worth of emails. If you join my list tomorrow, I can actually go on holiday for 6 years and it will still sell, and I will still have a business running if something happens to me tomorrow. Let's hope it doesn't. But this is where, again, valuation of your business increases. because automation and having that stuff pre-built behind the scenes, less reliability on sales teams and the owner of the business. This is why I had such a high valuation of my company, because of the fact that those things are in place. If I do get hit by a bus tomorrow, the business can still operate without me and still make sales without me physically here. I hope that doesn't happen. Thank you. Protection brings harmony. So this is where turning that on, you write these emails once, you press on this nurture sequence, and make sure that at the bottom of every single one of those emails, you have a PS. Here are X ways that I can help you do X, Y, and Z. Remember the triangle? This is where it comes into play. Here's a cheap thing. Here's a middle price thing. Here's an expensive thing. Here are X ways I can help you do that. This is where these helpful emails not only position you as a really helpful person, but they are constantly, every single time, reminding people of the way that you can help them do that thing, get that outcome, have that product in place. Amazing. I think we've got time for a couple more, and then I think time might be up. So the next way that you can grow your business, you can scale your business using automation, is to have what's called a 90-day sales activation email. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of this before. Jim Rohn was actually the original creator of this idea, so it's not my idea, but basically sending out a one-line email every 90 days, and you can do this with automation. You write it once. The email will say something like this: hey, first name, are you still thinking about, and then whatever result you give people. So are you still thinking about creating a membership? Hey, first name, are you still thinking about getting life insurance? Are you still thinking about whatever you do? This creates sales conversations and ignites and reminds your audience of the fact that you can help them. This has really good results, and inside any automation system, of course I use Techmatics to do this, you just write that email and you have a little action that says wait for 90 days, and then it's a loop that sends them back. Wait for 90 days, send this email, whoop, all the way back, and it just goes on and on and on forever. Woohoo, amazing. It's similarly, sending out monthly newsletters. Did you know that pretty much most tools out there, email marketing tools out there, including obviously Techmatics, has a feature that allows you to send out automated newsletters, as in newsletters that create and send themselves. What am I talking about? This is called an RSS campaign. You don't really need to know what that means. It just means that if you have a blog or a YouTube channel, well, you do now, because you've been to this workshop today, all you do is put in the link, the RSS link, to that blog or YouTube channel into the back end of the system you're using, like Techmatics, and it will automatically compile a newsletter that links to every single one of your published pieces of content in the last 30 days, 60 days, whatever duration you've chosen, and just automatically send it out at the duration and frequency you choose. Oh my God. I know, it's just good here, isn't it? It's just too good here. Now, we talked about bots. Imagine if you had a 24-hour-a-day assistant that answered every single Facebook DM, Instagram DM, Google business profile message, text message, WhatsApp message, everything. You can. There are a lot of tools out there now that have bots that you can connect into your CRM that actually will answer all customer inquiries, learn your business in seconds, and be able to respond and have real-life conversations as you, recommending what pages, products, and services they should go to buy from you, and even book appointments for you. Now, of course, we've got one inside Techmatics, but there are other platforms out there that do this too. And not to mention the fact that now, and I think it was Fred, was it, who has this? I talked to Fred as well, voice AI, voice agents too, who answer your phone for you and have real conversations with people, talking about your products, answering every single customer question you could possibly ask in the most professional manner, and booking appointments for you and selling your products and services for you 24 hours a day. Also a feature in Techmatics, also a feature that Fred offers. It was Fred, wasn't it? Give me a thumbs up if I'm getting the right person. Just, yeah, so go and have a chat to Fred about his as well, because this is a game changer. And again, we are right in the revolution of AI right now. And I know you think that everyone's using AI and you're not. We are 0.001% of people who are even aware that AI is out there and free for the public to use. We are in a space where everyone's talking about it. You must remember that the rest of the world isn't. And please also, can I reiterate this? Over half of the world doesn't even have the internet yet. Can we just remind ourselves of that? Half of the world doesn't even have the internet. So if you are implementing any kind of AI or automation or tech, you are way ahead of your competition. And I just want you to give yourself a little bit of a sense of, I am ahead. I am the first of the ever generations of human beings to be in this space. And I'm telling you now, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren are going to look at us and go, you guys are crazy that you didn't take advantage of this and jump on this, even if you've got no freaking clue what you're doing, because this is the first of the first, and people using this are going to absolutely sink their competition. And I know that sounds savage and horrible, and it makes my heart cry for these people. However, we also have to understand that business is business, and those who's going out there hunting, I'm afraid, are going to be the ones that bring home the bacon. So that's very important to know. Now, I know we have run out of time. I've got loads of other tips for you inside here. I am very happy, Nick, if you like to actually share this slide deck with you, if you'd like to be sending that out afterwards, because there are some other very, very cool tips in here, including, by the way, you mentioned the business card scanner. This is also part of the Techmatics app. You can scan your business card and it automatically adds them as a contact to your system and automatically puts them in your welcome sequence right while you're in the room with them there as well. So I do have a free gift for everybody, which Nick's also going to send out today. But I would love to know from you all, which one of those, and I don't know how many that was, which one of those is kind of your biggest takeaway from that session and the one that you're going to implement first? Woo! First question, did Sarah even breathe once in that presentation? No, I practiced. Did you find that helpful? I know that I speak at 10,000 miles an hour, but I want to make sure that you guys had loads and loads of tips in there. Do any of you have any questions? I'm more than happy to stick around and answer anything you want to throw at me. I love questions. Tabitha says, very helpful, thank you. Love the reminder about the importance of blogs. Yeah, don't let anyone say to you, blogs are dead. I'd like you to go, well, actually. look really clever and smart. What else have you got? Everyone drop in the comments if you're still awake. Peter says, love your passion. Thank you. I made it myself. What else? Who else have we got here? Harry says, fantastic. My takeaway, Legends Lab on the back wall. I'm joining. Love to see you there. FYI, Legends Lab is my business coaching program, and it's not very expensive, and you get me and this kind of stuff all the time, if you think you can handle that kind of level of crazy. What else have we got here? Pete's loving the custom GPT, so we're going to have a cloned Pete in the house. Loving that. Fred says, which platform do you prefer to promote on? Oh, fantastic question. So in terms of marketing, remember, the more you do, the more locations, the more formats, and the more mediums that you do that on, the more people you're going to reach. It's as simple as that. However, all of you are going to have a particular platform that kind of just works best for you. That will be to do with not only the type of content you create, the kind of personality you have, the way you create that content, and who you're targeting. That will be impacted on all of those locations. And I do not want anyone ever to say to me things like, oh, I wouldn't do well on TikTok because that's just for the kids and I'm in my 60s. Wrong, right? It is nothing to do with age. It's everything to do with your kind of personality and the kind of topic that you have that makes a difference. So you will just naturally find the more you start creating content, and this is why I create as much content as I can. I go to my social media scheduler and I make sure that content goes everywhere. You just paste it and say publish to every single one of my channels I possibly own, and it will just go and publish on all of them. And you will start to see where you get the most traction. For me, for some reason, it's Facebook. However, my audience, my way, my style is going to be totally different to yours. You might take off on TikTok. You never know until you go, basically, is the answer to that. Do them all and look at your data. Lisa says, thank you, Sarah. Wonderful info and a sense of humor. Thank you. I made that for myself too. Appreciate it. And Vlad says, are you concerned about language model hallucinations? Look, none of us can possibly, I don't think a bot's ever going to hallucinate as much as a tired business owner, quite frankly. Yes, what do we mean by this, by the way? Hallucinations is when bots start making stuff up. Generally speaking, if you're using bots in your own system to answer client inquiries, these bots are very, at the moment, literal with the instructions they're provided. So they will generally only regurgitate information that they've been given. And in the instructions in my bot, I always say, if you don't know the answer, please say this instead. And I'll usually say, please book a call with Sarah Cordiner directly because I don't know the answer. I'm just Sarah's AI bot is usually what will happen. So I tend to use the actual instructions to say to my bot, if you don't know, recommend they talk to Sarah. However, if you're creating content using bots, make sure you check everything and obviously give it the human touch. Paul says, great presentation and it's opened your eyes. Love it. And this is where, a lot of people, we're so blindly going along with the way that we've always done things. Sometimes we need something like this to just wake us up to the fact there are other ways. You can't do them all at once. Do one at a time, implement one, get it working, then implement the next thing. And the more you've got then going at the same time, just the more chances you've got of getting found. John says, thank you, excellent info. Tabitha says, weird question, but what is the name of the person or role that would be able to implement auto bots? That is a very good question, and it's not weird at all. Actually, if you go to the free link that Nick's going to give you today, I have got a free workshop for you called AI Yourself, How to Build a Bot. And I've actually provided some of the instructions in there that you would use. If you are using a platform like Techmatics or one like what Fred's got, I'm very aware we do have done for you services. So it's a virtual assistant. Our tech experts have been trained in training your bots for you. However, you would probably go to a bot engineer is actually the word that's being used most at the moment. So if you're going to go to like Upwork or Fiverr or something like that, a bot prompting engineer is the term that's most often being used. Fred says lots of golden nuggets. Love it. Right, I'd love to know if we can turn the mics on, Nick, if anyone wants to share something that they're going to definitely implement in the next 7 days, because we want accountability here.
100%. So put your hands up or just unmute and speak out.
What you're going to implement in the next 7 days. Commitment here, Peter.
Custom GPT.
Woo! Next.
Harry here. I'm definitely going to start writing blogs and dumping all my knowledge and scraps of paper I've got here that part of my book on my website.
Love it. Great. Who's next? Lisa?
Oh, I think I'll have to start my monthly newsletter.
Love it. Automated RSS newsletter. Brilliant. Tabitha? I'm just going to pick on you guys now.
That's okay. Thank you. Blogs, Autobots, the newsletter, all of it. I'm like, oh shit, I need to focus on that. Bring a cohesion to it and schedule it. So I'm really interested in looking a bit more at the platform that you're talking about, how it schedules everything. So yeah, it's a bit disjointed at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, we like to bring organization to the chaos. Fred?
Yeah, the thing on my priority list is to replay this, because I mean, Sarah, I'm in a similar area as you, not as proficient as you, but the stuff you've gone through tonight is just over the top. It's amazing. I really have to replay this and just grab all that info, because it was, and I appreciate the shout out as well. Thank you.
Love that. Thank you. Who's next? Azim?
Yeah, thanks for the great presentation there, Sarah. It was awesome. And the energy is obviously, I know you made it yourself, but it's brilliant. And it was actually 29.75 tips that you gave. So
yes,
we're nearly there. But anyway, a custom GPT is what I would be implementing. Actually, two versions of it, one for myself, and also I'm very deep into a 6-month-long immersion, for want of a better term. And I can take all of the content from there, because I've got transcripts of all the videos, and create my own GPT, so that when I've got a query about the content that I'm doing, I can go and use that as my own reference. And look super smart.
So good. I love it. John?
Yeah, just looking at my business, looking at focusing on off-grid solar for some marketing. So this is all great to go through and realize the importance of SEO as well. So
Fantastic.
cheers. Thank you very much for that.
Getting the SEO on. Julie and your furry little baby there.
I'm already using custom GPT to strategize my business, so I'll continue doing that.
Yay, fantastic. Who else hasn't gone yet? Can't see everyone's faces. Who else? I think some people are just like, what just happened? Welcome to Sarah Cordiner. I think everyone may have had enough there. Nick, we've got a prize draw to do.
Fabulous, we do indeed.
And the stage back to our Royal Master. Thank you for having me, Nick. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rach. Let's give Sarah a huge round of applause. What a whole lot of information there, and I can see a lot of excitement there in terms of us implementing it all. I have to say thank you, Sarah. You are the person that got me into having 24 months worth of content initially in my lead magnet sequence. And it was just something I saw. And would you believe I get business off that, like 8, 9, 10, 11 emails down the track, and people reply to me, and I think, where did this come from? I'm thinking, when did I write this? And I just have to think, oh no, that's in my email sequence. So it really works magic. It's really good. So thank you so much for all of that information tonight, sharing so generously. And I'm glad I set the stage there for anywhere between 10 to 21, sort of things that you're sharing, and you got to that 29. So fabulous.
0.75.
So we do have a door prize. Don't disappear yet. We do have a door prize, which is provided by Sarah. So what is it?
OMG, hold on to your undies, everybody, because if you found that useful in about 60 minutes, can you imagine what you were going to get if you spent 2 entire days with me? Well, I have for you a copy of my most recent business automation bootcamp. And in this business automation bootcamp, you guessed it, you're going to learn how to put your entire business on autopilot so that your sales can happen on autopilot, so that your lead nurturing can happen on autopilot, so that you can basically put into place the absolute must-have systems that are going to help you scale to levels that your business has never seen without you doing more work. In fact, with you doing less work. This whole bootcamp is going to walk you through how to create funnels, workflows, automations, how to create your bots, and everything else, so much more. It also provides you with templates for the funnels, actually pre-created workflows, all completely built and done for you. This sells at hundreds of dollars, and someone tonight is going to get it for free, simply for being here all the way to the end. Nick, I don't know, we're going to have people fighting through the screens, punching holes in the webcam to get to this. It's worth a fight, I'm just saying. However, over to you, and I have nothing to do with this.
Fabulous. All right, who wants it? Hands up. No? Okay, I'll have it. All right, we do have a special way of drawing it, which is our wheel of names. Everybody's name is in the wheel. Remember, you have to be in the room to win it. So don't take your toilet break now. Stick around, hold on longer, and let's and see who our lucky winner is. Let's spin the wheel. And here it is. And sticking around. Oh, I love the sound effects. And our lucky winner is Azim.
The crowd goes wild. And if you want to buy it, Nick will have an affiliate link that he will send out as well in the follow-up email that'll come after this.
Fabulous. Excellent. All right. Well, congratulations, Azim. I'll connect you and Sarah tomorrow. Actually, I won't. Lorena will by email. And
Nick, no, an AI bot will do the connection. Haven't you been listening for the last hour? For goodness sake.
You're not wanting me to get any sleep tonight, because I would have to set that up tonight. But I could get an AI bot to set up my AI bot to actually send out the email. Fabulous. Look, fantastic session tonight. Lots and lots of ideas in there. Hope that you are going to implement some of those, because of course this information means nothing unless you do something with it. So if you do want to connect with Sarah, her details are in chat. right now. If you want to watch this once again, I know Fred mentioned that, this will be up on the Smash Go YouTube channel tomorrow afternoonish. And the link for that is in chat as well. If you're not a subscriber to it, just go there, hit subscribe to the Smash Go YouTube channel, hit the little bell, and then you'll get a notification as soon as that video is uploaded. Feel free to share it with anyone else you think might benefit from this as well too. And we'll be back here next week, same time. And actually sort of a related topic. The speaker next week is Jenny, Mutu, and myself. So we're doing a bit of a tag team next week. And we're going to be talking about prompting for ChatGPT. So how to actually get some of that magic out of ChatGPT. If you've struggled with it and you get rubbish out of it, or it's just not as good as it is, we're going to talk about how to do that. And case in point, while Sarah was talking, I created a blog post, published it tonight, 2,000-word blog post using some of the tools that I'm going to talk about next week. So you can do it that quickly. So thanks once again, Sarah, for coming along. Look forward to that glass of wine when we catch up next. I have to say too, I actually didn't speak with Sarah at all before the session. And but I did jump on her website, and we were just sort of wanting to make sure that we connected beforehand. Her bot actually knew what time she was coming here. Like we normally sort of show up like 15 minutes beforehand to just run through a bit of a tech check. And I just asked her bot, Sarah, all set for tonight, and said, yep, she'll be there at 5:45, and I was just amazed that this bot knows even more than Sarah does. So incredible. All right, well, let's go and have a fabulous evening, and look forward to seeing you back here again next week for another installment of Business Owners Smashing It Online. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in and listening to the Business Owners Smashing It Online podcast. You can also find me on social media and online. Just search for Business Owners Smashing It Online and Nick Cree, spelled Nickcree, all one word. If you like this and want to hear more, subscribe now. Until next time, don't be a slave to your business. Get your business working for you.